The AP Top 25 has come out, and my friends, it has some interesting moves. Also, I'm going to review some of the scores of this week that just happened. We're at the midway point of the season, and then talk about a few games that's coming up this weekend. But first, I'm Brian. I am not Bobby Durkins, at least not on this channel. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you subscribe. It is free to subscribe, so support the channel there. And also, if you've been watching me for a while, subscribe. It is free. I do appreciate it. Now, earlier today, I did this video, and then I started having some technical problems. I deleted it. Now, I will tell you this, that video was about 55 minutes long. My goal for this video is to be around 15 or 16 minutes. So if it seems like I am flying through everything, if it seems like I am not giving as much detail as as I normally do, I'm doing that on purpose. So let's go through this. Let's try to get as much onto the internet as I possibly can. So here we go. So the top 20, I said so like 15 times here. The top 25 starts out with Georgia at number 1, Michigan 2, Ohio State 3, Florida State at 4, Washington after the big win against Oregon. What a great game at number 5. Last week we saw Oklahoma move into number 5, but after Washington won, they dropped down to 6. They were off over the weekend. They play this weekend against UCF. Next up, Penn State, Texas. You remember last week, they were off as well this week, so they actually moved up to number 8. If you heard that weird noise, that's my cord here. Oregon drops to number 9. Once again, what a great game. Rounding out the top 10 is North Carolina. The North Carolina Tar Heels having the best season since 1997. At number 11, the Alabama Crimson Tide hanging on for a win against Arkansas. Number 12, Oregon State. Number 13, Ole Miss. Utah at number 14. Notre Dame at number 15, absolutely shellacking USC. Number 16, Duke. Tennessee holding on. Moving up to number 17, have Southern Cal at 18. LSU at 19. Missouri at 20. Louisville at 21. They dropped 7 spots after a massive loss to Pittsburgh, 1-4 now. 2-4. Pittsburgh, number 22. Air Force, they're 6-0. Tulane at number 23. I like to see them do well. Number 24, Iowa, and rounding out the top 25, dropping 7 points after a loss to Clemson's former quarterback, DJ Uiagalelei with Oregon State. UCLA. Now, let's dive into some of these scores. And I'm not going to cover all of them. Oregon and Washington, it was one of the most interesting and entertaining games that I have seen in quite a while, transparently. Texas and Oklahoma last week, in my opinion, is the most entertaining game I have watched in a very long time. No matter what team is playing, that was one of the most interesting, entertaining, fun games, and it was extremely competitive. There's a lot on the line. So was Oregon and Washington. Now, Oregon's field goal kicker missed the attempt to tie, but both teams have a lot to play for, much like Oklahoma and Texas. I said, with the Oklahoma and Texas game, whoever loses this game, if they lose by 7 points or less, they have a lot to play for. That's the same with Oregon and Washington. Now, the thing that you come away with this type of game is the team who just won, you still have to prove yourself. You can't go in and lay a golden turd just because you beat Oregon. Now, if I'm Oregon, if I'm Dan Lanning, I'm looking at the guys and I'm saying, hey, we lost by 3 points. There's not really any team in the country right now, and I know a lot of Bulldogs will get mad at me for this. I know that a lot of Michigan fans are going to get mad at me for this, but that's fine. I can go ahead and tell you right now that Oregon and Washington can look at one another and say there's not a team that stands out as just uber talented. They're so talented that when you think about playing them, you go, oh no, we wouldn't stand a chance against them. So Oregon and Washington have a lot to play for. It'll be interesting to see how they respond. Another game that really stuck out to me, coming back to the South, University of North Carolina having their best season since 1997. For some of you ACC homers like myself, which you know me, I'm not a big conference guy, but I've been pulling for Clemson since the Danny Ford days, since I can remember. So North Carolina has always been around. This is the best team they have had since the 1997 team where they had Chris Keldorf, Oscar Davenport, L.C. Stevens, Leon Johnson. And they went in, they played Miami, beat them 41-31 yesterday. Miami made it more respectable in the fourth quarter, scoring 14 points. But folks, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, they looked fantastic. And who I was really impressed with, well, I was impressed with a few different people. The running back Hampton, 24 carries, 197 yards, 1 touchdown. And man, he was bruising it. And then Tez Walker, finally cleared by the NCAA to come in and play. Finally, the NCAA gets out of the way, as they should. He has 6 receptions, 132 yards, and 3 touchdowns in his first flipping game. Congrats. North Carolina is looking more and more dangerous. And I'm shocked. Not because of Drake May, but they have really been anemic when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. And this year, yeah. It's crazy. Have some people saying that they're having a hard time hearing me. Can you not hear me out there? Please let me know. I've had some technical difficulties, and I'm trying to troubleshoot this. Have my in-ears in tonight just to try to catch anything. Please let me know if you can't hear me. I'm just going to keep going. And if I have to cut this off, I'll cut this off. By the way, we're at 7.5 minute mark. I do want to bring attention to my sponsors in the link below. In the link below, my friends, there's a link below. You'll see 4Putt Carts, 4puttcarts.com. They're a beverage and snack cart service for special events as well as golf courses. So even if you offer cart service at your golf course, I used to work at a golf course at a clubhouse. Let me tell you this. You have a special event come in, I can go ahead and tell you straight up, you are going to get overwhelmed. You should call them, get them out there. Or if you don't have a cart service, you need to get them out there just every now and again, just to at least, step up your game. Special events, you need to get in touch with them. Also, here we go. I lost this. My friends over at the Sawmill Shop, sawmillshop.com. You need to check them out. We're going to be doing a giveaway it's the small version of this massive one. All right. I'm going to give away 3 or 4 of these. So I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do the giveaway, but check them out. Let them know you heard about them from the Not Bobby Durkin show. Also, if you want to join and support on a monthly basis the Not Bobby Durkin's show, I have a lot of people who's joining, and I do appreciate that. It's so flipping cheap, you won't even miss it. I promise you. And if you're on iPhone, you won't see the join button, but there's a join button below here. All right, I'm at the 9-minute mark. I said I'm trying to keep this at 15 or 16. Jonathan Benton said, no, give the big one. There's only one big one, and he gave it to me, just gave it to me. And that's like 4 or 5 years ago. And I tried to get him to make another one, and he was like, it's a prototype, and it's really difficult to make that. But I would love to give them away. Let's get back to the sports here. Louisville blowing it against then 1-4 Pittsburgh. They didn't just lose, they lost 38-21. What the crap? That was terrible. I had higher expectations for Louisville. Now, at this point, they're 6-1. They're 6-1. We can't be too mad at Louisville. This is Brian Brom's first year. We can't be too ticked off at him. But to come out and beat Notre Dame, and then Notre Dame, and I'll get to that game in just a second, just beat the trash out of Southern Cal, which was funny to me. It was really, really interesting. How will Louisville respond going forward? We'll see. Duke, without Riley Leonard, goes out and beats NC State. Beats NC State 24-3. This week, Duke plays at Florida State in Tallahassee. Will Riley Leonard play? Now, if I'm Florida State, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to tell my boys to go take a cheap shot at him. No. But at the same time, I am going to tell them to hit him and hit him and hit him and hit him. And even if it's close to a late hit with him letting go of the ball, hit him again. Because Duke is a way improved football team across the board. But I'm telling you, Riley Leonard is the crown jewel of that team. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Moving on. Tennessee and Texas A&M. Texas A&M 4-3. Do you think those boosters and all those donors are giving that much money away to Jimbo Fisher to go 4-3? Blow it yet again? No. Tennessee 5-1. The only loss is to a terrible Florida team. Losing a game to a present-day Florida team is not a good thing. This is not Werfel. This is not Tebow. This isn't even a Kyle Trask team. They blew it there. They barely beat Texas A&M. We saw some things out of Joe Milton that just lets you know that 5 or 6 years in college, and the guy's a freak athlete, but his ability, his comprehension skills on the football field should be much higher than what it is. Couple of notable games. Washington State was 4-1 going into yesterday. And I'm just going to tell you, my friends, they got blown out by Arizona 44-6. I have no clue what happened. Did the team die on their way? It doesn't make sense. Moving up to one of the most jaw-dropping games, if not the most jaw-dropping game of yesterday, Notre Dame coming off of a butt-whipping from Louisville. You know, the Louisville team who lost by 17 points to a 1-4 Pittsburgh team. That Notre Dame team, 2 losses. The seat might be getting a little warm for Marcus Freeman. People are upset. You get it. I get it. We all get it. It's just part of the business. USC comes in playing with the Heisman Trophy winner. They're 6-0. Notre Dame beats them. I called that Notre Dame would win this ball game. Notre Dame was only like a 2.5-point favorite. Notre Dame wins 48-20. Caleb Williams throws 3 interceptions in the first half. He threw for 199 yards in the game. Folks, I'm telling you right now, nothing personal towards this young man, but he is not a number 1 overall draft pick. He has a lot of talent, but he has to grow in his decision-making. Tom Brady was not the greatest athlete, but his decision-making is one of the greatest of all time. That's why he has so many rings. He can wear them on his toes. Have Tiger Man in here. Have my nephew. It is good to see you, buddy. Philip Medlin's in here. I got Jonathan Benton. Let me see if I have anyone else. Folks, I appreciate you coming out, saying hello. I only have a few more minutes if I want to get in here in this 15-minute rant. Redo, and I ask that you share this to all your forums and so on. Pass it along to your friends and neighbors. I will be doing a Clemson prediction game or prediction video. Missouri beat the trash out of, I don't know why I keep saying that tonight, but it's the thing. Beat the crap out of Kentucky. Can we not just go ahead and stop every year after Kentucky wins like 4 games, anointing them as the contenders of the East? Can we stop that? Because this keeps happening. They got beat by Georgia last week. Okay, it's all right. We understand why that would. And Missouri comes in and beats them by 17. Can we stop doing this? I would appreciate it. It'd be fun. It'd be nice. So in closing of this video, let's talk about Clemson. I will do a prediction video for the Tigers. And yes, the Gamecocks blew it to the Florida Gators yesterday. Present-day Florida Gators are terrible. The Gamecocks blew it, had a two touchdown lead. Blew it. They're 2-4 right now? Shane Beamer is a really good coach. His only problem is he's coaching the Gamecocks. We beat you last year. That's fine. You're still 2-4. But we beat you. You're still 2-4. Clemson playing against Miami. I think that right now Clemson is a 2.5. According to which line you look at, 2.5 or 3.5 point favorite going down to Miami. What does that tell you in the betting world? They don't know. Both teams are inconsistent. My Tigers has way more talent than they have, but they're inconsistent. They could have changed my mind and changed my view of this game had they went out and took care of business against Wake Forest. Oh, but they farted around. So, this Miami, I'm going to go ahead and give you my insight to this game, and I'm going to try to get an idea for this week. I'm pulling for my Tigers, but I'm telling you, I have no clue who wins this ball game. Not a clue. So you should tune in this week once I finally do my prediction, because I probably will be spitting blood the entire time because I have no clue who's going to win this game. Got a question here. Bobby, who would win, Mizzou or Clemson? I do believe Clemson would win the game. I do. Missouri's playing South Carolina, by the way, this week. They're always, either one of them, if one's doing well, the other one is, it's weird. Good question. Well, folks, I'm trying to stick to my word. I went over a few minutes, but this is my quick review of the AP Top 25. There's a lot of interesting moves. We're seeing teams like Air Force in. We're seeing teams like Tulane in. We're seeing moves by team. North Carolina's number 10. It's getting crazy, folks. People are starting to drop like flies in the ACC. It's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. Hey, I hope you subscribe. It's free. If you want to join, the button's below unless you're on an iPhone. It is flipping cheap. You won't even notice it. We're doing the giveaway with the Sawmill Shop. Check out that link below. Also, check out the sponsor of the show, 4puttcarts.com. Let them know you heard about them from me. Folks, this is exciting. Half the season is over. We're going to have a great time. I'll see you this week. As always, go Tigers.